So as is YouTube etiquette, I'm going to post this as a response to apropos of wet snow. His name's Lee, and he's in Montreal, Quebec, and he was offering some thoughts about the university system and its context existing within a sort of techno-industrial capitalist civilization. And then, in this context, the traditional role of the university is no longer to uncover truth or to pursue beauty and enact a goodness, but the university's role becomes, um, well, it's an investment made in a sort of factory system which is supposed to produce um, what it has designed in advance. I mean, what's being produced in a university is a consumer. Also an employee, but for most corporate jobs, being an employee means being a consumer of the corporation. But you're inside of it. You feed on its very body rather than on its mere seeds, its products. But you're in a fundamentally passive role where you eat the corporation's propaganda, which makes you feel proud of the work that you do as a contribution to it, and you feel proud of the products and services that this corporation provides. Um, but you're sort of tricked into this. You're playing a passive role in that you're alienated from your own labor, which itself has been commodified by the owners of your corporation, of your place of employment, or your employer. So the university is creating, at its essence, a consumer of corporate theology, of the theology of these disembodied legal persons we call, Nike and Apple and General Electric, and most importantly, perhaps, Lehman Brothers and Fannie Mae and the Citibank, Chase, Bank of America. These are the gods and goddesses from whom we steal our living, or from whom and by whose graces we live. And I think this is kind of why university students are becoming enraged around the world. I mean, just recently in the States here, there are protests made of mostly young people and washed up hippies, as they were being called on Fox News. And the idea here, I think, is, well, there's two things happening. There's something deeper trying to emerge, which is difficult to articulate because the mainstream mass culture that is, told its story by the anchors of Fox News and other major networks, as well as entertainment companies. The message has something to do with the nature of the cosmos, and it's a spiritual message that human beings have been trying to awaken to for thousands of years. But it's also a level. It's also being articulated, on a level of political, social rhetoric, and there are some students at these protests who are saying that, I paid for college, I made my investment, and I didn't get the job I was told I would afterwards. This is a critique which emerges from within the same system of signification that is destroying human society and the Earth community itself. It's a symptom of the same sickness, I think, to be there protesting because we paid for an indoctrination that didn't initiate us into the capitalist, corporatist machine. I would I'm holding out hope, and I think am perhaps right to hold out hope that this is not simply a protest for a fair share inside the machine, but a protest for a rupture of the closure of meaning which this machine has imposed upon us, the closure of meaning that we find in our pockets, in the Visa, MasterCard, and American Express logos, and in the fiat currency that we mistake for value, mistake for meaning, mistake for energy. The very, you know, blood of the circulatory system of our species is made of paper, and now mostly, digits in a computer system, bursts of electricity in four-dimensional space-time. We can't even quite tell where they are, But the point is, we've lost contact with the earthly and emotionally living reality, and we've begun communicating simply in monetary signs. Money is a black magic, and so long as our protest is only to secure more of it, to distribute money more evenly, I think we're missing the point. We're missing the cause of our own unrest and of the unrest of the planet. We're in an ecological and a cultural crisis, which leads to political and environmental crises. And I do think the solution comes from some sort of reimagining of the university, of the process of raising children. It's up to the next generation, the generation that's about to give birth to all the kids which will replace us one day, to raise those kids in a society that opens them to the magic of the universe, into this billion-year process of development, of developmental achievement that goes way earlier than the human species. We're talking about the achievement of the hydrogen atom, the achievement of a star, of a solar system, the achievement of a cell. These are all leaps of intelligent decision made by the universe prior to the emergence of human intelligence and technology. In some sense, the human being is a technology of the earth, and we've been given a tremendous amount of freedom. And thus far, we have enslaved ourselves to the creations of our own intelligence. We've externalized our own intelligence into this techno-industrial capitalist machine and forgotten that we were its creators. And now it's run amok. It's not any person or people or class that we should be angry at. That's a completely misguided way to look at the cause of all these terrible symptoms that we face today. The problem is the system. It's the runaway machine that we've externalized and forgotten that we still remain fundamentally in charge of. People protesting in the streets already have the power. They don't need to ask Wall Street for anything.